So I got off the grate, feeling that cold day rush up around my body. As I stepped on, I packed everything into my girl here. I packed everything in. Put the quilt on the top, all the emergency stuff on the top, and in the first aid kit I found in that park on Pennsylvania Avenue after that Red Cross function. And I even took the bottle Willie kept hid for special occasions, in spite of knowing how I felt about booze and all. I hurried up to the mission with my heavy girl. I took my breath out like a steam engine. And there was Willie, out in front of the mission building, both of them in one piece. If you'd have seen him then, you'd have known why they called him Wiggly Wriggly. He was dancing in the cold, the only one there, save for that new young priest from Cleveland, the one that never wore his collar and eventually got sent someplace else. He was trying to get this big coat around Willie, but the old boy just kept dancing around. That young priest never did know how to handle my Willie. So by the time I got up in the set, even the priest had gone off down the river, and there was only Willie. His eyes big as hen's eggs. He was dancing around, waving his arms and pointing down the street to where the priest had gone. He come back, Elizabeth! He come back! Jesus Christ come back! Just like he said in Revelations. Must have sounded just like he did when he was a Baptist preacher. I saw him, like a big silver bird come down on the bridge. All right, then was when I knew it was a plane crash. Big silver bird. Willie just kept dancing around, singing one of his church songs about down by the riverside. I was only getting cold. So I set my girl up against the building with her wheels pointed toward the wall so she wouldn't roll back down the hill. I learned that one the hard way. I had to chase after her 3 blocks one time. Anyway, where was I? Oh, the mission. So I picked up this coat the priest had dropped, and I fought to get it on Willie while he was trying to convince me it was Judgment Day. He was raving about how he was ready to go to heaven, just waiting for Jesus to come by and get him. All the other old boys and ladies at the mission had gone off down to the river. Willie said he didn't want to make Jesus mad by rushing down there all self-righteous like, assuming he was fit for heaven. He told me the Lord would come by when he was ready to decide for himself who was going with him and who was not. And he mumbles one of his old Bible verses about them that wait on the Lord. I just kept nodding my head so I could bundle him up in that coat so he wouldn't catch his deathly cold. I even got him to wear some gloves I'd found earlier by telling him we was getting dressed up for Jesus. You see, people like Willie, you gotta humor them a little, but still respecting what they believe, or what they think they believe. So by the time I got him calmed down, he smiled and told me how glad he was that at least I'd be there to see him off in case Jesus didn't find me fit to go along. That's when I got a little mad. Here I pushed this heavy girl 3 blocks up that hill, worried that he was maimed or killed or something. Then he was telling me I might not be fit for heaven. But at the time, I bit my lip and held my temper, something I learned from my mom's side. I tried to get Willie to go into the mission and get some supper, but he wouldn't budge. So then I tried to explain to him that it was only a plane crash, but he just acted deep. So then I reasoned with him that Jesus, being the Son of God and all, well, he would know that this Carver Wrigley was inside getting a good meal before the trip. But Willie stayed outside and caught pneumonia. then God might not let Jesus bring him up into heaven and spread germs to all angels and sinners. Willie, this was bad. So, I hid my girl behind the road and guided Willie to the mission. By this time, some of the folks was coming back from the river talking about all the commotion. And that young priest in the turtleneck sweater, he stood up in front and told us all about the plane crash. I think Willie finally believed it then, the news coming from another God and all, because I saw tears in his eyes. Then the priest had us say the Lord's Prayer together. Well, Willie, he prayed too, but like he was some buddy of God's. I mean, he spoke to the Almighty normal, everyday words, louder than the rest of us, like him and God was the only ones in the mission. I sure was embarrassed. Well, we got back. All them graves was filled, just as I feared. No room even if somebody would offer it. So, Willie and I wandered over to that park on Pennsylvania Avenue and found a spot in the bushes near a lamppost where I figured we'd be safe from muggers. We got out everything we could cover us up with and settled down to wait for day. It was cold that night. Willie, of course, he dozed right off, snored loud as usual. I couldn't sleep. It wasn't because of the snoring. That let me know Willie was still alive. Usually I can nod right off if I set my mind to it and learn to do that. I just had this awful feeling that we could make it if I fell asleep. But if I stayed awake and made sure Willie kept breathing, we could make it. You know, I think it was that plane crash that had worried me. We'd been through colder nights, but at the time, I felt sure if I dozed off, we'd be doomed. But I made it. Sang a lot of nursery rhymes at first to keep my mind alert. Then I remembered all those songs I learned in Catholic school. Christmas carols like Away in the Manger. I sang them over and over again till they just didn't sound like songs anymore. Then I tried to remember some of them hymns Willie used to sing from his preaching days. There was this one that I could only remember one line from. Just a closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Well, I sang that one line to the whole tune over and over, again and again. One time during the night, Willie stopped snoring. So I put my ear close to his face. Air I could hear going in and out of him, warm